Ladies and gentlemen, inside every person is a spark, a flame that drives them toward their purpose in this world. But the question is, do you recognize that flame? Are you fueling it to keep it alive? Because that fire, that energy is the foundation of your success. Success doesn't come to those who merely dream. It comes to those who are restless to turn those dreams into reality. The fire within you is the force that keeps you awake at night, pushes you to rise after every failure, and urges you to step out of your comfort zone. Remember, your destination is tied to your determination. This fire isn't just any flame, it's the embodiment of your hopes, your dreams, and your struggles. But that fire cannot sustain itself. It needs the fuel of your hard work, your resolve, and your passion. Have you ever wondered why and how people achieve greatness? They don't possess some magical power. They simply never let their fire burn out. They start their day with the belief that today will bring them closer to their dreams. They view every failure as a lesson and every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger. Your journey begins and ends with your why. When your purpose is clear, no challenge can stop you, no setback can break you. The size of your dream should always outshine the weight of your struggles. Fuel the fire within by remembering why you started and let that reason push you beyond limits. We all face moments in life when the road seems impossibly difficult. Obstacles come in many forms: failure, rejection, self-doubt, and even the judgments of others. These barriers often feel like immovable walls, testing our patience and determination. But what keeps a person moving forward despite the odds is not just the promise of success, but a deeply rooted understanding of why they are doing it. Your why is the foundation of your perseverance. It's what gives you strength when everything around you is falling apart. When you define your why, it becomes your anchor. It keeps you steady in the stormiest seas. Think about anyone who has ever achieved something remarkable. Behind every success story is a reason that goes beyond money, fame, or recognition. Their why is personal. It's tied to their values, their loved ones, or the change they want to bring into the world. This purpose is what fuels their fire when they're tired, when the excitement fades, and when failure knocks them down. The truth is, everyone faces setbacks. It's easy to feel motivated at the beginning of a journey when the vision of success is fresh and vivid in your mind. But what happens when you're months or even years into the process and progress seems slow? What happens when you've given everything and yet the results don't align with your efforts? Most people give up at this point, not because they lack talent or potential, but because they lose sight of their why. Without that inner compass, it's easy to get lost in frustration and despair. Your why is what keeps the flame alive. Imagine a runner training for a marathon. There are days when their legs ache, when the weather is unbearable, or when they'd rather stay in bed. But they get up and run anyway. Why? Because their purpose is stronger than their pain. Maybe they're running for a cause, to honor a loved one, to prove something to themselves. Whatever the reason, it outweighs the discomfort they feel in the moment. The same applies to your journey. Whether your goal is to build a business, pursue a creative dream, or make a difference in the world, challenges will test your resolve. But if your purpose is strong enough, you'll find the strength to keep moving forward. Your why doesn't just give you motivation, it gives you clarity. It reminds you what matters most when distractions and difficulties arise. One of the most powerful things about defining your why is how it transforms your mindset. Instead of seeing obstacles as reasons to quit, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow. You realize that every challenge is a chance to strengthen your resolve, to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you imagine. Your why gives meaning to the struggle. It turns pain into purpose and effort into achievement. Think about the people who inspire you the most. Maybe it's an athlete who overcame injuries to achieve greatness, an entrepreneur who started with nothing and built an empire, or a parent who worked tirelessly to provide for their family. What separates them from everyone else is not their circumstances, but their commitment to their why. They refuse to let fear, doubt, or failure extinguish the fire within. Your why doesn't have to be grand or extraordinary. It simply has to matter to you. It could be as simple as providing a better life for your family, achieving a personal milestone, or proving to yourself that you're capable of more. The size of your dream isn't as important as the depth of your commitment to it. The more connected you are to your why, the more resilient you become in the face of adversity. But here's the thing, your why isn't static. It can evolve over time as you grow and your priorities change. What's important is that you keep revisiting it, especially during tough times. Remind yourself why you started, why you chose this path, and why it's worth the effort. Write it down, visualize it, and keep it at the forefront of your mind. The more vividly you can see your why, the stronger its pull will be when the going gets tough. Ultimately, your why is your greatest source of power. It's what separates those who give up from those who keep going. It's what turns dreams into reality, one small step at a time. Every time you feel like quitting, every time doubt creeps in, reconnect with your purpose. Let it remind you that you're not just working toward a goal, you're fighting for something that truly matters. Motivation is powerful, but it is also fleeting. It's that surge of energy you feel after watching an inspiring video, reading a powerful story, or hearing an uplifting speech. In those moments, you feel unstoppable, as if you can conquer anything. But motivation, as strong as it might seem, is temporary. It fades with time, leaving you vulnerable to distractions, fatigue, and self-doubt. That's why discipline must take its place as the cornerstone of your success. Discipline isn't glamorous. It doesn't rely on emotion or excitement. Instead, it's about consistency, doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what gets you out of bed on the days you'd rather stay under the covers. It's what pushes you to finish a task, even when your energy is low and distractions are high. Where motivation ignites the spark, discipline keeps the fire burning. Think of all the goals you've set in the past. Maybe it was starting a fitness journey, launching a business, or developing a new skill. At the start, motivation was likely driving you. You were excited, ready to take on the world, and the vision of success was crystal clear in your mind. But what happened when the initial excitement wore off? When progress slowed down or obstacles appeared? For many people, that's the point where motivation fades and the journey ends. This is where discipline becomes essential. Discipline bridges the gap between your goals and the results you want to achieve. It's about creating habits and routines that carry you forward, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Discipline doesn't depend on good days or perfect circumstances. It's about showing up every single day, knowing that consistency will eventually lead to growth and success. The truth is, most people overestimate what they can achieve with motivation and underestimate what they can accomplish with discipline. Motivation may get you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving forward, even when the road gets tough. It's not about grand gestures or massive efforts all at once. Discipline thrives on small, consistent actions repeated over time. Consider the story of any successful individual, whether they're an athlete, an artist, or an entrepreneur. Behind their achievements is a foundation of discipline. Athletes don't train only when they feel motivated, they train because it's part of their routine. Artists don't create only when inspiration strikes, they work consistently, honing their craft even on uninspired days. Entrepreneurs don't build businesses by waiting for the perfect opportunity, they take small, disciplined steps every day to turn their vision into reality. Discipline requires a shift in mindset. It's about understanding that success is not an event, it's a process. It's not about one big win, but a series of small, consistent victories that add up over time. When you rely solely on motivation, you're at the mercy of your emotions, which can change from one moment to the next. But with discipline, you take control. You build a system that allows you to move forward, no matter how you feel. One of the keys to developing discipline is focusing on habits. Habits are the building blocks of discipline because they allow you to automate your actions. When something becomes a habit, It no longer requires willpower or motivation to get started. It becomes a natural part of your routine. For example, if you want to write a book, discipline isn't about waiting for inspiration to strike. It's about setting aside time every day to write. Even if it's just a few sentences, over time, that daily practice becomes a habit and the process becomes easier. Another crucial aspect of discipline is accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you create a sense of responsibility for your actions. This could mean tracking your progress, setting deadlines, or sharing your goals with others who will help keep you on track. Accountability ensures that you stay committed even when motivation wavers. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. There will be days when you stumble, when you skip a workout, miss a deadline, or fall short of your goals. What matters is how you respond to those setbacks. Discipline is not about never failing, it's about getting back on track after every failure. It's about resilience, about picking yourself up and continuing the journey no matter how many times you fall. Ultimately, discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the quiet force that drives progress. Long after motivation has faded, it's not about doing extraordinary things, it's about doing ordinary things consistently and with purpose. Over time, those small discipline actions compound, leading to extraordinary results. So when the initial excitement of your goals fades, when motivation is nowhere to be found, remember that discipline will carry you forward. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Success is not reserved for the most talented or the most inspired. It belongs to those who are willing to show up day after day and do the work.